today for our Remembrance Day service. It's important that we acknowledge it today, the 100th anniversary now of the cessation of the war, the Great War, the war to end all wars. And it's fantastic today that we're changing it from what we've done in the past. We're using, we've got the youth here today joining us in the celebration, and it's fantastic to have Georgia, Jared, Sinclair and Ava joining us today to help us be part of this ceremony, because they're the next generation who are going to obviously keep the remembrance going. So without further ado, we'll commence our service. Thank you.
Remembrance Day falls on the 11th of November each year. 2018 Remembrance Day has a special significance as it marks the 100th anniversary of the armistice, which ended the First World War. On the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month, a minute's silence is observed to remember those soldiers who have died or suffered in the line of duty to protect our nation. Today, the loss of Australian lives from all wars and conflicts is commemorated on Remembrance Day. Please stand for our national anthem as we honour their spirit.
The red poppy has special significance for Australians and is worn on Remembrance Day each year. Firstly, in memory of the sacred dead who rest in Flanders fields. Secondly, to keep alive the memories of the sacred cause for which they laid down their lives. And thirdly, as a bond of esteem and affection between the soldiers of all allied nations and the respect for France, our common battleground.
Poppy, poppy, pom. Poppy, poppy, what do you say? Swimming on Remembrance Day. Poppy, poppy, what do you tell? Many soldiers in battle fell. Poppy, poppy, what should be done? That peace and love should roll, roll, roll.
More than 330,000 Australians served during the First World War. Each day, the story of one of the fallen servicemen or women listed on the Roll of Honour is told at the last post ceremony held at the Australian War Memorial. Today, we would like to share one of those stories.
This is the story of Lieutenant Thomas James Richards, also known as Tom.
Tom was born in 1883 in Emmerdale, New South Wales. Soon after his birth, his family moved to Charters Towers in Queensland, enticed with the fortunes to be made in gold mines. He was a talented rugby union player who represented his state and country. Tom was 31 years old when he enlisted in the army. He landed on Gallipoli on the morning of the 24th April 1915 after being trained as a stretcher bearer. For the next 8 months, he tended to the wounded on Gallipoli. In March 2016, he sailed to France on the Western Front, where he served for the next 2 years. He was promoted several times and was no longer a stretcher bearer, but an officer. His job was for his fine leadership skills and endurance, and in 1917 he was awarded to the Military Cross for noticeable gallantry and devotion to duty. 3 years of harsh conditions and battle wounds meant that Tom was hospitalised several times throughout the war. He was finally sent back to Australia with injuries to his spine, back and shoulders. Tom moved to Sydney and married a local girl. However, his war injuries combined with the effects of mustard gas that he encountered in the trenches took its toll on his health. Sadly, Tom died in 1935, aged 52. We thank Thomas Richards for his gallantry and devotion to duty he gave so that we have freedom today.
Please stand for a minute's silence at the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour. We will remember them. would now like to invite Rob to read the ode. Rob joined the Navy at age 17. He was medically discharged in 1982, but continued his service at the Rocket Range in Woomera. Rob served our country for 8 years and now works with the Roan Homes in Adelaide, helping veterans with PCS.
Thank you. Morning everybody, thank you all for taking the time to join us. Days shall not grow old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Rob, could you please lay this wreath to further mark our respects? I would now like to call on others who would like to lay a wreath. That concludes our Remembrance commemoration. Thank you for attending today.
Thanks everyone for coming along, and look, how about thanks for the kids and what a wonderful job they've done. So, whilst today I suppose in one respect has been about commemorating the centenary, the cessation of the First World War, it just brings a bit home to us here in TOA. The wreath I just laid then was in memory of Sapper Darren James Smith and his bomb detecting dog Herbie. That's Mandy McGlynn from South Australia's son, who was killed in Afghanistan in 2010. So how about we raise a glass to him? Thanks everyone, and thanks Dan for your assistance with the music and what have you. Thanks Adam for playing some tunes inside, and Rob for your involvement. It's fantastic to have you here. Safe trip home everyone, and we'll see you again in 2019. Oh my goodness.